absolute legend himself as well. Mike Modano back on the show on the Diamond Factory Hotline. Good morning. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It was great having you on last time. Are you in Arizona, Texas, or Minnesota?
I'm in Phoenix as we speak, and then we're getting ready to go on our little spring break Disney cruise on Friday morning. So I got a couple days until we're gone for about a week. So we got a big boat full of people going from school. So we got about 35, 40 people going on a Disney cruise out of Orlando. So
that sounds like a nightmare.
It does.
I have to say the cruise thing I can kind of handle. Disneyland, Disney World, no. But the cruise, I was kind of skeptic myself. But it's actually it's not a bad deal.
Are you a patch behind the ear guy, or you handle the high seas well?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've been I grew up on water actually in some of the Great Lakes around Michigan, so I got a little bit of sea legs to me, if you want to call it that. But yeah, those boats are pretty big, so there's a little bit of rock there, but it's nothing crazy.
All right, for a new parent like myself, or with a 2-year-old getting older, what is your one hack or tip for Disney World or Disneyland? Not on the cruise. You're just going regular. What's the trick?
Let me see. I'd probably wait till maybe 5 or 6. That's for sure. Wait till that they're potty trained. You don't have to carry around diapers or a stroller, so that would be a plus for you. So The less crap you got to carry around, probably the better. So once they get to 4 or 5, you're probably in the clear a little bit.
Did you go to a lot of Super Bowl festivities?
I didn't. This place is just crazy in the winter. They got so much stuff going on in Phoenix. We just kind of stay low. We stay away from the Barrett-Jackson, and then they had the Super Bowl and the waste management. They just got so much stuff. Then they got spring training going on around here. So it's a busy area from probably around right after Thanksgiving till mid-April. So it's a little bit hectic. And then you got the spring breakers that come in March. So it's become a pretty busy area. So when that happens, we just hunker down in our little area of town and just wait for the storm to pass.
Did you attend the Taylor Swift concert?
My 8-year-old and wife went, so that was their big deal. We're actually going to John Mayer tonight, so my wife and I are going to John Mayer tonight.
Oh.
The 8-year-old went to Taylor Swift a few weeks ago, so she had a big old time.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine seeing you at a Taylor Swift concert. You had no desire to go.
Me neither.
Mike Modano is joining us. Now that we know you're doing a lot of work with the Wild, but we saw the awesome moment with you and Jason Robertson after he broke the scoring record. Your thoughts on Jason as a player, as much as you've been able to keep up, and this Star season in general, because that's what our Tolos would love to hear you talk about.
Yeah, they've been fun to watch, especially Jason. He's had a tremendous, phenomenal year. Those type of years, come around once in a while. You just feel like everything you throw at the net goes in or someone else puts it in. So you have that, it's just that confidence and momentum. And they've had a pretty, solid, consistent team, obviously. So, they're right there in the hunt between Colorado, Minnesota, and Dallas. So it'll be interesting who kind of can pull out of that division. So, those two teams, the other two teams have to face each other, unfortunately. So that's going to be a tough first-round matchup for anybody. So, but Jason been great. I was glad I was at the game. Just happened to be at that game just coincidentally. So it just happened that that happened that night. So I was able to pop down and say hi and say hi to a few of the other guys and a little bit of the training staff that I haven't seen in forever. So some of those guys are still there when I was there. So it's always nice to see those guys and say a quick hi.
Oh, so that wasn't all planned out.
No, I just happened to go to the game. I was just planning on going to the game and watch it, and then all of a sudden I got some text messages from their PR guy saying, that Jason just broke the record. Are you sticking around after the game? If you can, come down and take a picture if you can and say hi. And so, yeah, I'm like, yeah, so that worked out.
Sports evolve. All sports do. How different is playoff hockey today than it was, back when you were playing?
It's a little bit different. Obviously, it's just so much. It was so physical back in the day. It was really a lot about intimidation and being physical and just taking liberties on guys. You just really had, kind of the rule book was kind of thrown away, and guys could get away with anything out there. So it was really a battle of wits to see who physically could come out of there. Nowadays it's just like it's a little physical, but not as much. It's just a lot of. The game's changed so much. It's a lot of skating. Just it's a drag match out there, just up and down the ice fast and creative, and guys are talented and a lot of skill and everything else. But as those playoffs move on, it does get a little cramped out there, and they start defending well, and not much space is available. So it does hunker down as the rounds go on. But I recall those first rounds against Edmonton. They were just like, you came out of that first round barely alive, because it was physical. So, but yeah, it's changed a bit. But nonetheless, you still got to win 4 best-of-7 series. So it's a grind.
Do you ever dream or think of what your numbers would look like today's era?
Or without Hitchcock as a coach? Yeah. It was great.
No, don't stop talking. Keep going. We want to hear more about that. What do you really think?
I tell Hitch he cost me about 300 points.
This is why I would have him back on again.
But the flip side is we won, so he always throws that back at me. But he goes, like, you won. I'm like, yeah. I'll give up a few points to win.
Yeah, he could have been living. He's probably in Scottsdale right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing fine.
Yeah. He could have been in Sedona. What's another fancy Arizona place, Chop?
Yep, Sedona, Scottsdale, all good.
Yeah.
Do you still now that you're removed, from your playing days, do you still have kind of the same hatred in your heart for the Avalanche or Edmonton or teams like that?
Yeah. Edmonton is just a real sour spot. Those were some great playoffs, and working with Billy Guerin in Minnesota, we recollect about those series back in the day. Those were just amazing. San Jose, another team that we played an awful lot of, that you just had a bad taste in your mouth against. The Avs, those 2-year back-to-backs in 99, 2000, those Game 7 series against those guys were phenomenal. So, those handful of teams are still they're still back there in the subconscious, and you just think about when playoffs come around how much fun they were to play against those guys. But it was tough and physical. But yeah, they bring back some great memories when you see those jerseys on the ice.
Look, man, people are sitting here texting us and tweeting us right now. Why are we talking about the Minnesota Wild with Mike Modano? Where's Mike Modano way when we're sitting there going to the AAC? We get in a street? Well, why are we talking about the Wild with you instead of the Stars?
Well, there's a lot of dead end streets or courts down there. They could probably throw a name on or something.
Cul-de-sac. The Modano cul-de-sac.
Yeah. They gave Dirk the big long stretch from Oaklawn to 35. He got the big long road, so he's sure there's a little like you said. I'm sure there's a little short cul-de-sac off McKinney or something they could do.
Oh, you're still familiar with the streets? How often do you come back here?
God, it's pretty random. Just things pop up. I come back in town for, and just it's never really scheduled out. It's just something that pops up random. I just I'm usually in and out, but I'll be in there for 4 or 5 days after this Disney cruise for the golf. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mike Modano joining us on the Diamond Factory Hotline here on 105.3 The Fan. Have you ever been to Augusta?
I have. Tom Hicks took me as a little retirement present after my playing days, and we went out there for a couple days and got to play myself, Bill Musselman, and Brett Hall. So the 4 of us went out there for a couple days, and it was amazing. It was amazing to witness in person just how much how hilly that place is. It really, TV doesn't do it justice, but it was just to set up the whole aura of it, driving down Magnolia Lane. It was just a great experience.
Is that by far the best course you ever played?
It's got to be right up there. There's always a handful out in Long Island. Shinnecock and Wingfoot, those places out there. Sleepy Hollow, and then you always love Carmel and Pebble Beach, but God, it's got to be right up there in the top 5 places I played for sure.
So you guys got a star-studded list. We had on Smoltz. We know he's a beast. We hear that your wife is also a fantastic golfer. You got Emmett. You're gonna have Romo. Who have you kind of gotten close with through these events? Like either through trash talk or just they're good dudes or good ladies. Who have you kind of bonded with through these awesome golf events?
Oh God, it's been going on since we've been doing them since probably the late '90s, early mid '90s. After we moved to Dallas, they started having some of these things. But Pudge was always there for a long time. Emmett, even Smoltz, Greg Maddox, Tommy Glavine, Jack Wagner, the old Melrose Place guy's been there forever.
We don't know what that is. We don't know that show.
John Elway, it was a long time ago. So John Elway, great guys. So you always reminisce when you see them, and everybody has their own little, obviously, profession and jobs they're doing. But when you get together, everybody seems to, pick up where they left off the year before, and just BSing and catching up. So. But yeah, obviously seen Tony last few years, so it gets pretty intense. Guys are really into it and get excited about the golf, and it's their one last little release that they have from being in professional sports. So, some take it a little bit more serious than others. How
often are you playing a month out there?
Well, you don't really have a weather issue out here, so you can always get out whenever. So you kind of, it's always maybe once or twice a week here and there, just get out when all the kids are in school. I have a few hour break there before, the craziness afterwards. So I get a little breathing room there that I get to get out and play a few holes and hit some balls and, enjoy the sun.
People try to rope you into a big money game?
Not too much. Those they're 9 to 5ers, so I get the retirement crew, so they don't really want to play too much big money.
Ludwig does a podcast here with the station. Any Lud stories that we can relate to him?
Oh man, it's nothing that you guys don't already know. There's everything about Luds is out there. So I mean, he was quite the competitor. I mean, man, he could goes hard, plays hard. He does everything full speed. So he was one of those the ones they broke the mold after. There's not too many guys like that were in the game at that particular time. But certainly he was a gamer.
Mike Modano here on the Fan. How would some of the players have talked about this? How would a hockey version of the World Baseball Classic look? Would you be in favor of that? How do you think that would work?
It's hard to say because we've done the World Cup thing before, and they've pulled the Olympics together. But the World Cup thing there was a lot of fun in the late '90s and early 2000s. It was a great deal. But I don't know. It's just so much hockey. The seasons are so long, and teams and organizations get a little skeptic of guys playing extracurricular hockey for injuries and everything else that comes into play. But it's always nice to be able to represent your country and have some fun with some guys that are around from your area of the country. So they were always great experiences I had.
Good. Would it be good to get back in the Olympics?
It's always tough to say. It's hit or miss. When the Olympics are in North America, it's great because you're not having to deal with a big time change. But it's Japan and China and places over on the other side of the world. It's really tough as far as TV counts for fans and stuff. So you get a little tape delay. You don't really see things in prime time. But when they're over here, like Salt Lake, Vancouver, Calgary, they were just all, amazing venues and spots. And, it's looking like maybe Salt Lake City might get it again. So when it's over here, it's great. People can, watch everything real time, and it's a little bit different, viewing on TV.
Robertson, Matthews in Toronto, Adam Fox. You guys got one there in Minnesota. That's pretty daggone good. How exciting is USA-born hockey right now? What do you think the status is of it?
It's probably probably been the highest it's been in, good 20 years. I think you have just some tremendous young talent that are just coming out of, every little corner of the country now that the game's gotten so popular around the nation. So, you have guys just coming up that are just breaking the trend and really adding a lot to the game. It's just great to see. I think, they're really up there with, Canada, Russia, those type of, Sweden, those type of nations that, you put a all-star team together or a national team together, they'll be, I'm sure they could compete and probably win it. So, there's tons of talent, fun to watch, and, a lot of upside for those guys.
All right, we'll let you pack for the cruise. Enjoy John Mayer tonight. Have a great trip back here for the golf, and let's not be a stranger. It's like once every couple years, but you're always delivering radio gold. So thank you, Mike Modano. We appreciate it.
You got it. Maybe we'll visit during the first round of playoffs, something like that.
Yeah,
why not?
There you go. And we'll get you the cul-de-sac. We'll get you there.
Besides the alleyway.
Thanks, Mike.
Good chatting with you guys. Take care.